Alright, video number 2. This one's on technology and how fucking angry. Technology doesn't make me angry. The areas we decide to advance our tech in makes me fucking angry, because basically in the 90s, late 90s, I started noticing that telecommunications were super advanced. There's certain things we put money into to advance, and everyone kept saying, oh, we're such a high-tech society. The only thing we've had high-tech is telecommunications and also entertainment. So picture this. We have a planet, and we're all humans. I hate how we keep dividing ourselves. We are all fucking humans. We cannot make a car that gets much better gas mileage than the Ford Model T, which was invented in 1900 fucking whatever, early 1900s. Yet we have a Large Hadron Collider to see what happens when we ram two particles together. That does not seem a little bit... Okay. Fucking pisses me off. The electric car was invented before the gas car. And it was invented in 1904. They decided to go with the gas car because they made more money on it. It has more moving parts. It needs more maintenance. It needs regular fuel. They make more money on it. They decided to trash the fucking electric car. 100 years later, they're still telling us we can't make an electric car that'll work. Bullshit. They have fucking satellites that they launch. Well, not satellites. They have probes they send out into space that live off solar. That one has just left our solar system. It's the furthest thing we've ever sent out, and it's still running on solar power. You're telling me you can't make a fucking car that works? Yeah, you know what? You can make a car that works on solar. You choose not to because companies cannot make a choice to lose money. So I always wondered, okay, we could make so many changes. There's so many things we could change right now. There's infrastructure we could do. There's, all these alternate fuel fucking everything. There's all this shit we could do to make the world better, cleaner, more efficient, cheaper, better. They don't do it. 40-something% of the U.S.'s electricity is derived from burning coal. Coal! Are you fucking kidding me? Coal! Why don't they switch it? Well, they've already got the infrastructure in place, and it's cheap to buy coal and burn it. That's it. They don't want to change because they don't like any of the profits disappear. Same thing with the oil companies. They made an electric car, it was like the Chevy Volt or something like that. I was looking it up. It gets excellent mileage. You have to fill it up once every, I don't know how many kilometers. Like, it's ridiculous. They made it to satisfy, okay, we'll make you an electric car. They charged $40,000 fucking dollars for it, and nobody bought it. And then they're like, look, nobody wanted an electric car. They did that absolutely on purpose. They knew exactly what they were doing, so that they could say nobody wants an electric car. So when I was unemployed, my dream was to go to scrap yards, to go to talk to electricians and all these different people, get parts, and build my own electric car. And I bet if you took all the parts and got everything as cheaply as possible, guaranteed you could build your own functional electric car that maybe wouldn't do so well on the highways, but in the city is fine, for under $5,000. I guarantee you could do that. Absolutely possible. I bet if you were one of those guys I'm a welder. I'm not an electrician. I'm not a not good with any of the other stuff. I'm not even good at soldering. I've never tried that. But anyway, if you were a guy who that was your bid, so you're good at electronics, you're good at all that shit, I know you can make an electric car for even cheaper because you know what you're doing. So it pisses me the fuck off that we have super high tech in some areas. We have ridiculous high tech in some areas. Yet people die from the stupidest fucking dark age shit, like malaria is just killing people left, right, and center. It's like, I think the one thing that's keeping our population under control. So technology fucking just, we're so heavy-ended in some areas, and so fucking, as far as psychology is concerned, apparently we know more about space than we know about human brain, which is absolutely ridiculous. But it's almost like they're trying to keep everybody in the dark about the human brain, because they would rather you come in, quick diagnosis, quick pill fix. There you go. Instead of going, you have this disorder, here's how you fix it. Because the human brain, if you're cognizant, if you're a regular human being and you have a functioning brain, there are certain things that are always going to hold true. Everyone's going to have certain things that happens to them. Everyone's going to have basic reactions to certain things. And mostly, they're treatable. Everything's treatable. Absolutely everything. And I bet most problems with the human brain can be fixed with words, with routines, with diet, with all these different things. You don't even need pills, almost guaranteed. But everything just ties into my last video about money, how fucking money just makes me so fucking livid. But yeah, the technology thing, we spend money on war, and there's another thing that is absolutely ridiculous. We do not need war. Like, modern civilizations, modern countries that are modern, will not get invaded. Everyone says, oh, we have to worry about this thing, that thing, the other thing. What happens if China decides to invade the U.S.? No, that's never going to happen. Modern countries that have good infrastructure, like Canada, like the U.S., like a lot of places in Europe, do not get invaded. Yeah, I know, okay, Georgia got invaded there a little while ago by the Russians. Little things like that, but our countries, basically, the reason we have armies is to protect our interests. That's it. Bottom line, protect our interests. So the U.S., send out a big army to go squash some country in the Middle East, take the oil from them, and then overcharge us for the oil, which is awesome. And then basically they keep spending so many billions of dollars on protection, on defense, when their defense budget should be nil. It should be almost nothing. You have a military, fine, have a military. You do not need a huge military. Nobody does. For us, I mean, like, Canada has peacekeepers, that's great. U.S., if you guys want to have a small army, what's the problem? Everyone should have, it's tradition, it's good to have just in case something's, we get invaded by aliens or something. But the amount of money that's been spent on defense in the past fucking 10 years is like, I don't even know how much money. It's absolutely ridiculous for a non-existent threat. Terrorists are not going to blow things up. There are always lone guys that are crazy, that do something stupid, that blow things up or kill people. It's part of the human condition. We're overpopulated, and rats go absolutely crazy. If you stuff too many rats into an area, they start killing each other. That's what happens. So there's always going to be crazy. It doesn't matter if you're a Muslim extremist. It doesn't matter if you're a crazy Christian. It doesn't fucking matter. There are always going to be crazy people that do crazy things. That does not mean terrorists are threatening your way of life, because if you straight up examine how many terrorist acts have happened in Canada or the States, more people have died from various other things. Like, 88 people have been killed by terrorism since 9/11 or something like that. Like, it's not a big number. It's just, I don't know if that was a truth. I saw that on a thing. Okay, it's like one of those things where it says 88 people have been killed by terrorism, and then it's like, 8,000 people a year die from getting the wrong prescription, like, or heart disease kills like millions and millions more than that. Like, but anyway, we do not need to spend on military tech. We do not need to spend on space exploration. They call it space for a reason, because it's a giant fucking void. There's nothing out there unless the moon is filled with solid gold or something like that. There is nothing out there with our current technology in our lifetimes that we need to spend time doing. If we have, like, telescopes to look around, hey, that's fine. We do not need to go to the moon. There's nothing on the moon. It's a giant fucking hunk of rock. Unless we start mining the helium-3 or whatever the fuck is out there supposedly, that's fine, because that can be used. We do not need to go into space. Space is one of those dead-end things. We need to explore the ocean, because that's very important. We need to explore the human mind. We need to fucking clean this goddamn planet up. We need to stabilize the fucking population. We do not need to all be having more and more and more and more babies. We need our fucking tech to be used for medicine, to keep, to get rid of things. Like, if I've got a genetic predisposition to heart disease, there should be gene therapy to correct that. We should get nanites so we can fix things, like better surgery methods. We do not need, a new AK came out there a little while ago. And my post on there was, we do not need another AK-47. Then someone said, oh, you have to be able to defend yourself. I'm like, no, you don't have to be able to defend yourself. I've lived without guns my whole life, and I have never had a problem. And then the guy went on to say he was jacked, and he lost his legs because of someone doing something, and and he needs guns for this, that, and the other thing. Like, no, nobody needs guns. It's a logical fallacy. I watched Ted Nugent do that, you'll pry it out of my dead cold hands thing. The only reason you're so adamant about having your gun is because it's one of those ego things. Like, oh, I want my gun. I have to have my gun. Like, no. There are many people that get through their lives without a gun. You don't need a gun. Nobody needs a gun. Guns are cool. Guns are fun to shoot. Just not shoot people. The crazy guys that say, out of my cold dead hands, they're probably going to be the ones that if I'm going to take away your gun because you don't need it, they're going to shoot somebody, therefore proving that they shouldn't have had the gun in the first place. They're going to shoot somebody and go to jail, and they're going to lose their gun anyway. It doesn't matter what it is. Do not do something stupid like that. Ted Nugent, I don't care what you're fucking crazy racist asshole. You don't need your guns. Nobody needs their guns. It's a technology that has not changed in years and years and years and years. And you can defend yourself without a gun. Maybe it depends on your area. If you live in a fucking ghetto where there's gangs everywhere, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you do need a gun. But from my perspective, it depends who you hang out with and where you go more than anything. If you're always in a trouble area where there's always going to be fights, there's always going to be gangs, there's always going to be da-da-da-da, that's one choice. If you always go to places in public where very little bad things happen, you don't need a gun. Nobody needs guns. Anyway, I just got off track on my technology rant. But yeah, we need to stop spending money on stupid fucking things. We need to lower fucking budgets. We need to chop the legs out of all the power from the government. The government is not looking out for our best interest. We need to I would love for us to have, first the U.S. would hopefully do it where they rush they rush the White House and they're all pissed off and they say, you guys are not looking out for our best interest, just like all the dictators just got overthrown, which is gorgeous. But that should happen here. I think that would be great. If everyone was pissed off, everyone went to the White House and said, okay, well, we're not going to break anything. We're not going to riot. Nobody's going to work until, say, minimum wage goes up. It hasn't gone up since 1997 in the States, which is fucking unacceptable. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anybody being rich. If you have earned your fortune, that's fine. It's the CEOs that get paid millions and 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 millions of dollars for fucking being assholes, cutting fucking services, all that shit. Let's cut pension and give me a raise kind of thing. Unbelievable, Being rich is not the end-all, be-all of everything. You cannot take it with you when you die. It just means you think you're better in society because you have more money. I am perfectly happy right now without much money. Because why? Why do you need money? Why does everybody have to be the guy they see on MTV? Anyway, technology. We need to fucking stop wasting money on military and space. The two things are fucking useless. This is something we've been doing forever. We're supposed to be a modern society, yet there are practices that have been going on, as far as subjugating cultures and subjugating whoever to take their resources from them because they don't know what it's worth and we don't want to pay them what it's worth. We just want to fucking invade them and take what we want. It's just like Avatar. The sky people just take what they want. That's pretty much what we do. It's fucking embarrassing. It's disgusting. Oh, it makes me fucking angry. And anybody who has got that kind of power should pray to the gods I don't wake up tomorrow with superpowers. Because if I do, this fucking world is in for a big change. First thing I'm going to do is just tell everybody. I've had this fantasy. I'm just sitting there thinking about how great it would be. I'd go to South and North Korea and say, make peace right now. Because if you don't, I'm going to blow up both of your countries. You have 24 hours. Go. The U.S., I'll be like, you guys have 24 hours to downgrade your military to non-existent and stop subjugating others. 24 hours, or else I destroy your country. Go. Of course, I put fucking a bison up Stephen Harper's ass just to make him happy and say the country is going to be ruled by accountants and engineers and people that, would be good at ruling a country as far as infrastructure, building things, balancing budgets, not just making the rich richer. But that's just me. Anyway, technology. We need to stop fucking exploring useless technology.